ये सौरभ की जब स्पीच होगी ना तो सौरभ अपना फोन लगाएंगे. This is specially for him.
तो भी करें
चलो करो.
shall we? Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I would like to welcome you all here to the 340th meeting of Toastmasters of Delhi. My name is Anand Prakash, and I am here on behalf of the Sergeant of Arms of today's meeting. The mission of the Toastmasters Club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every member has the opportunity to develop communication and leadership skills, which in turn foster self-confidence and growth. Now, to officially start the meeting, I would like to inform you that this meeting will be recorded and shared among the members for study and self-reflection. In order to have a smooth meeting, here are some ground rules. Please avoid talking about religion, sex, and politics. Please turn your mobile phones on silent mode, and you are requested to be attentive throughout the meeting and support the speaker with your warm smile and applause. Let's have a great meeting. Now I would like to invite the presiding officer on stage, Saurabh Amla.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anand. Good afternoon, everyone, once again, and welcome to this 340th Toastmasters of Delhi's, I believe, physical meeting. It is. We stopped hybrid meeting for some time, and we got amazing results. Good response from the crowd, I believe. Okay, we already have one guest. Okay, he already introduced himself last meeting, and I believe soon he will be a Toastmaster and join the journey we started some time back. We have a very amazing Toastmasters of the day today, and she is my partner in crime always. I tell that to everyone, and I will not take much of your time because we know each other very much, and we have couple of speeches that we are going to deliver today. And for that, I'll not take much of your time. With round of applause, please help me welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Lavina. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the 340th meeting of Toastmasters of Delhi. I'm your Toastmaster of the day. That means I have the con and I can make you do whatever I want to. So the first, before we start, let's play a game. Everybody stand up. Move this chair, move this tripod thing, and make way. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Run, run, run. Leave the way to the door clear. Okay. Now what we will do, everybody will select two people in this room. We will not tell anybody who our two selected people are. And we have to go and stand in a way that we make an equilateral triangle with them. For example, if I select Sahil and Anand, the way I'm standing here is an equilateral triangle. I can either stand here or I can stand here. I could be facing here, here, anyway, to let people not know who I selected. One of them may move. I will have to move with them. Quickly, everybody, any questions ask. Choose your people, make your equilateral triangles. Have you done that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So now
You are not in the part of the game now.
I am.
You are.
Okay, I'm not. That's a good idea. I should be the observer. We will listen to our very learned Mr. President. So, in our game, we will have a star. The star of this club obviously has to be Shahid. So, the rest of you, your objective is to ensure that within the next 7 moves, Shahid is outside this room. How will you do that?
By moving.
Look down now. You don't know whether you are his equilateral triangle. You may move, he may not move. You get where I'm going with that. You know? So, think, identify, move, and manipulate him. But we are all standing in an equilateral triangle. How do we move and how do we make him move? So we will allow one person to move out of the equilateral triangle as an exception so that we can get everybody moving. So we'll do that with Neeti. Neeti, you're free to move anywhere and leave your equilateral triangle for this particular step. Everybody else readjust basis your respective equilateral triangles. So this is move one. Shikha, sorry, you'll have to sit out for this. We've already started the game, but please feel free to observe. So we see our star move from here to here. That gives us some idea. Now, who will volunteer? You have to move still to form your equilateral. Quickly, quickly. So, who wants to go second? Who wants to move now? Who has an idea of how to make Shahid move? I have an idea. Go, Neeti. That's move number two. Everybody readjust. You can also tell Shahid where to move, advise him, his equilateral maybe inside the room, outside the room. Bribe him. My God, this crowd is not lively at all. Oof. No more games. Do anything.
Keep forward.
Your call. Move three.
Okay.
Yes. But please don't leave the building. I don't fancy going on the road right now. Our president walks in his own rhythm. Everybody is going there. He's going there. What's happening? Our star is moving further into the room. And this is step three. Step four. Shahid would be making an equilateral with somebody. Who's the second equilateral? We can have them down on the stairs and Shahid will have to follow.
I'm done.
You are? Then go.
No,
But
I will go there.
you will move there. Do whatever you want to move. Remember, this is move 4 and you guys only have 7 moves.
This is a good game. Not many people are trying to understand it.
We have 2 people out of the room. I should have changed the rule. And have people who moved out give me $100 for
So, I am the star still in the
The
room.
star is still in the room, guys. We've had 4 moves. We have 3 more left. Who is going to take the 5th move? Go on.
We are all going out.
That is the beauty of the game.
Are you sure you're making an equilateral, Shahid?
Yes, I'm doing my best.
Because of
Best is not admissible. It has to be an equilateral
Yes, it
triangle.
is.
there's a balcony outside. No?
Just have to see that.
Okay. So we've done 5, move 6. Guys, only 2 moves to go. Choose very wisely. Move 6.
Pull others out, they first move out.
Move 6, guys, quickly. Who will take the step?
Don't
You
influence.
have to go a little bit outside. Yes, you.
Neeti, we should will
Huh,
probably
that's
see
it.
you on the second
So now
floor
you are
now.
not making the equilateral triangle.
You're not.
Now you have to go outside to make the equilateral triangle.
How come you understood that he selected them?
He's
No.
smart.
He selected
How come? Who told him?
But
because
you're
equilateral
assuming.
triangle, the distance between these 2 people also has to be equal.
Has
Which
to
is
be
not
equal.
the case.
It is the case because I am making an equilateral triangle with
Oh
two
my
people.
goodness. I think you guys have to go on the road now to get Shahid outside.
They can't pull me
no,
out.
so
see,
you have to
Shahid.
come here.
An equilateral triangle can be this way, it can also be that way.
Yes.
So given you are a mentor of the club and you hold so much love and affection for all the kids here, I'm sure you will take the 7th step and volunteer to move out.
Okay. Okay.
Woo! Come back inside, everybody.
Workout done.
Only 2 people were smart enough to understand all this. That's a good one.
So, what did we learn here? Human beings have the power to choose their actions and their energies. and they have the power to influence the actions and energies of others. We could influence Shahid. Come on, Shahid. Yeah. We could make him choose his actions. Can we not choose our worries? Is that so difficult? That is what we will see in this meeting as we go ahead. Before we start, let me allow to introduce the general evaluator of the day, the star of our game, the mentor of our club, 3 times DTM Shahid.
Thank you, Toastmasters Lavina. And just a correction, I'm a one-time DTM. And yes, good afternoon once again, Toastmasters.
Good afternoon.
Like our starlet of the club, the TMOD said that there is no energy in the clubs. How do we bring energy in the club? Any riders on how do we bring energy to the club?
Sa Glucon-D.
Huh?
Nakuha ka pati tayo.
What?
Glucon-D.
Glucon-D, okay.
Energy.
What else? What else?
Let's do some jumping jacks.
Let's do some jumping jacks. So let's stand up.
It was a rhetorical
Okay, it's a rhetoric. Sit down. This is for us to jump up and down. Okay, the only way to develop energy in a speaking forum, in a platform where you are speaking, is applause. Your palms should be aching. Applaud so much that your palms should be aching. And trust me, when you applaud, you have a lot of energy. You exude a lot of energy. You can also hoot. So hooting can be done, but the issue is hooting should be done pre and post the speech, not during the speech. So that can also be done. Anybody knows how to hoot? Yes. Anyone else?
Y'all know.
Try it. You all know, then do it.
Hooray!
Yes, yes. Saurav, why are you not hooting at me?
Hooting is not allowed, no?
He
It
doesn't
is allowed.
hoot at
Pre and
gents.
post. Pre and post the speech.
Saurav only
It is
hoots
allowed.
at ladies.
Oh, Saurav hoots only at ladies.
No.
Okay. Saurav is
I don't know.
impartial.
You don't hoot. Okay, so you said it's not allowed. I thought you wanted to hoot, but you did not hoot because you thought it was not allowed. But it is allowed. Okay. As your journal evaluator, my focus will be on evaluating the meeting in general, the parliamentary rules, the following of parliamentary rules, and the general excitement and interest of the audiences. And also there will be speech evaluators who will be evaluating the speeches of the the speakers, and also there will be a tag team. So what is a tag team? A tag team is a timer, accountant, and a grammarian. These 3 people. Why do we not have other people? We should have a voice modulator also. We should have a body language person also who should evaluate that. Why do we not have that? Any pointers on that?
Speech evaluator will do that. The bot.
Speech evaluator will do that, but why not special or evaluators for that?
These are the most important things that
Yes.
need to be evaluated.
In any good speech, the top things that are looked into are the time management, how much time you are devoting to the speech. Second is about your ahs and ums. That shows how prepared or unprepared you are in the speech, how much you are concentrating on what you are saying. Third, the grammar. If you speak start like now, I speaking am, it does not make sense because there is no proper grammar. And if no grammar proper, then no speech understand. So grammar is important to formulate your speech so that people can understand it. And sometimes the way of compensating on grammar are gestures. Okay, so that is why we have a tag team. So let me now call upon stage my tag team role players who will be explaining to you the objectives of their roles. First, I'd like to call upon stage Toastmaster Miraj as the timer who will tell us the objectives of his role. Toastmaster Miraj.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I wanted to, memorize it. Let me read for the second time. Fellow Toastmaster and distinguished guests, I'm the timer of the day. I'm responsible to keep a track of the time taken by various speakers and role players. Typically, a prepared speech is timed for 5 to 7 minutes. I'll show the green card at 5 minutes, the yellow card at 6 minutes, and the red card at 7 minutes. There is a grace period of 30 seconds on either side. I would request each speech evaluators to apprise me if the speech time is different from 5 to 7 minutes. For table topics, each speaker is required to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. I'll show the green card at 1 minute, the yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and the red card at 2 minutes. Table topic speakers have a grace period of 30 seconds on the plus side. Speech evaluators are allotted 2 to 3 minutes for evaluation. The green card will be shown at 2 minutes, the yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and the red card at 3 minutes. There is a grace period of 30 seconds on either side. Please note that as a timer I will keep the cards up until the speaker stops speaking, unless otherwise instructed by the Toastmaster of the day or general evaluator. I will provide no signal, verbal or non-verbal, to indicate that your time is up. Any speaker who finishes before or after the grace period will not be considered. I'll submit my report in the evaluation stage.
Thank you, Toastmaster Miraj. I would now like to call upon stage a two-in-one person who is doing both the roles because one of his friends backed out. I would like to call upon stage Toastmaster Sahil as the counter, as the grammarian, to give us the objectives of the role. Toastmaster Sahil.
Thank you, DTM Sahib. Good evening once again, fellow Toastmasters. My name is Sahil Madar and I will be the R counter as well as the grammarian for today. As an R counter first, my role is to note down the pillar words and the crutch words that are used by speakers, for example, ahs and ums and other words like so. I will keep a track of that and I will design my report during the evaluation. As a grammarian, I am supposed to track some good usages and some bad usages that are used by the speakers throughout the speeches. I will also share a word of the day, which is tremulous, Tremulous, which means shaky or trembling. For example, I opened the important letter with tremulous fingers. I will encourage all speakers to use the word of the day, and the members are requested to acknowledge the usage by showing a thumbs up. I will present my report at the end of the meeting and over to DTM Sahib.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sahil. So the word is tremulous. My first speech in my school in class 10 was a tremendous experience for me. And that gave me a lesson to be on stage more often and practice my public speaking skills. And here I am today. And I also got this opportunity after 30 years. So there is never a good time to start or a bad time to start. You can start your journey of exploring yourself, discovering yourself any given time. And of course, keep your worries and choose your worries rightly. How do you choose them? We'll soon come to know. I would now like to hand over the stage back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Lavina.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Life can be challenging. It can be difficult. Is there any of you who does not have any worry at all? Mr. President, you have my heart. I think you are more equipped than me to lead this topic then.
Yes.
But for the benefit of all of us who have some worries, for this next part of the exercise, I require all of you to have a pen and a paper. In case you do not have papers, I have them with me. Pens you will have to raise. Our president is exempted from the exercise as he disqualifies himself by having no worries in the world. And I'm mighty jealous of him. On a scale of 1 to 10, now let's be very clear that this part of the exercise is something which is extremely personal to you. You need not share this with the group here or with me unless and until you wish to. First of all, on a scale of 1 to 10, write what level are your worries today. 10 would be that you're ready to jump out of this building and we need to catch hold of you. One would be everything's hunky dory, la ti da. The clouds are blue, the sun is shining yellow, everything is good. Just give a rating very quickly. Just write that one digit on a scale of 1 to 10. After you've done that, I need you to list on that paper all the worries that you have, each and every worry. And we have a good 5 minutes for that. It can be everything. It can be the third white hair I discovered in my hair today, to the Ukraine war, which is happening for more than a year, and I have no control over it. Anything and everything. Go for it. There is a possibility that as you're writing down your worries, there may be a point when you might get overwhelmed, or there may be a point wherein you just do not want to write anymore. Nobody likes sitting with their worries. However, if you're able to do this, it will help. There are worries we push at the back of our mind. There are worries we try not to think about for our own benefit. The purpose of this exercise is to lighten your load, and this will happen only if you accept or articulate this load that you have. 5 minutes is a long time, guys. Guys, your worries will be personal to you. You can't really
No,
copy
something
paste.
else.
No, no,
Something
this
else. Worries. last 2 minutes. Now I just look at you guys and make you extremely conscious. Okay, just last 25 seconds.
We are so light after. No worries.
That was really not the point of that exercise, but good.
That's why we are happy.
Okay. So yeah, a Toastmasters meeting is three parts. The first part is the prepared speeches, which is where we will go on to right now. The second part is the table topics, which is an extemporary, and the third we have the evaluations. So first we will go on to the prepared speeches. Our first speaker of the day is Shikha, and just bear with me a moment, please. I cleared the board. Shikha is evaluated as sort of the president of the club. Saurabh, I invite you onto the stage to share Shikha's speech objectives.
Thank you so much, Toastmasters Lavina. Seeker speech is, I believe, level 3, optional 1. Optional 2, already completed 1. Great going. Okay, and the project is basically for understanding vocal variety, and the speech title is Don't Listen. Back to you, Toastmaster Lavina. I'm not allowed to be sitting moment.
Don't listen, Toastmaster Shikha, Toastmaster Shikha, don't listen.
Timer, please.
Thank you. Very good afternoon, everyone. Happy to be here yet again with you. So, how many of you grew in a family environment which was very Indian in the sense that they expected you to be by default listening to your parents? So, I was raised where I was said that the more you listen to your parents, the wiser you get, the more obedient you will be perceived, and the more love you will get. But this somehow didn't work as much in my favor. When I was a small child, my parents had a very strange hobby. Their strange hobby was my father was very fond of getting my hair cut. So while I was a girl, and very, very strange hobby from my father, he would always want to get my hair cut. Every new salon that would open up down the street, my father with all the excitement take me along with him and I make me sit there at the barber shop. I would be sitting, an innocent child, wondering what is happening all around, and my hair is getting cut. To more surprise, my father knew only one haircut. That was boy cut. So my whole childhood went by just only having boy cut. And I'll share you pictures, all fancy dresses, but hair was only boy cut. So that's how I grew. But sad I was to feel because I used to see all my female friends with long hair. Sad and weeping, tremulous my hands were, feeling all the misery. I used to go back home and tell mom, what's happening? Why is my hair getting cut even before they're grown well enough? My mom used to say, listen to your father. He is elder to you, and that's how you're a good child. I was like, okay, if that's how a good child is defined, then I will be all up there to live up to what you want. Soon the time passed, and I had grown more. My family's friends, everybody is asking me, Shikha, what do you want to become when you become old? When you grow up, what is that you want to pursue? Are you thinking to become a politician, a teacher, a hostess? What is that? And I'm thinking, okay, even if before I have to choose, I have to start answering to people. What is that I want to become? I'm sitting one day, sitting in my room, thinking, okay, what is the answer? If somebody asks me, I have to give an impressive answer, let apart become that or not, but let me give an impressive answer. So I walk up to my brother and I say, hey bro, you think I can become a good lawyer? I'm thinking to become a good lawyer. How about that? My brother say, hey, liar, you want to become a lawyer? I was like, okay, is a lawyer a liar? I was a kid to really understand what he was saying. I went back to my room and I was thinking, okay, lawyer is not the right answer I have to give. People will tease me. I went to my father and I said, hey dad, I'm thinking to become a pilot. How about me becoming a commercial pilot? I'll take you places. My dad was like, uh-huh. I think maybe that's a little more for a girl. How about become a teacher or become an HR person? That's more suitable. You will be able to handle your family life more. And I'm like all confused. I come back home and I'm thinking, okay, all the choices that I'm making maybe are not right. Maybe I need to think more. But what is that I should do? And so, what I decided was just to go with the crowd or the flow, as people say. I did BCom honors, then I did MBA program because that was the in thing in the market. And maybe I thought that gradually I'll figure out what I want to do in my life. And so I moved on and made my career in finance and landed up in a job and kept on growing more. But always it came to my mind that would I have been a better person, a better professional if I had made choices of being a lawyer, which my heart followed, or maybe something else, but not this, which landed up as a default for me. But nevertheless, now that I was here, I wanted to focus and not digress myself. I again went up to my brother one fine day, which was not too bad, but in fact very recent. I said, hey bro, I'm thinking to do a chartered public accountancy. What's your view for that? It's a very highly valuable degree. It's the CEO of United States of America. I will be a licensed chartered accountant. You're like, uh-huh. That's an accountant. Don't you think it's too cliche? Not an accountant, please. Do something more strategic. I was like, okay, I was bad then in making choices. Am I still bad making choices? All my suggestions are getting turned down. Have I not evolved by the time? And I'm still thinking, what's wrong? Why am I not making right decisions for myself? But that's when also where I realized that I was checking one with my brother who's a marketing professional. I was checking with a marketing professional for finance degrees. And I was checking with my dad, who was a business person, who was again not very close to what my interest was, and was giving a more generic societal views. That's when I realized that maybe I just don't need to keep seeking advice who may not be that close in understanding my domain or what I want to learn. And that's when I decided not to listen that much and to listen more of myself and follow what I want to do in my life and follow my passions because it is only me who will most closely understand where my weakness lies and what I want to learn more. And that's when I said, don't listen. Don't listen to anyone and follow your own self. And that's where my advice to all of you lies that beyond a point, don't bend yourself too much to please others, to be fit in that conventional definition of what you should be doing and how the society expects you, what role and responsibility you need to keep performing. Somewhere it's okay not to be pleasing, everybody all the time. And just do what you like. Because at the end of the day, when you will reflect at your journey, it is only your life that has gone by. And you should feel content that you did whatever you wanted to do. And that's when I say, don't listen to the others and follow your own self. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Don't listen to anybody else and follow your own self. Very valuable advice. We have all listed down our worries. All of the worries that you have in the world pertaining to yourself, your life, your job, health, likes, dislikes, the people around you, or pertaining to anybody else, pertaining to the planet Neptune, they are in your circle of concern. Anything which is not a worry or a concern for you is outside your circle of concern. For the purpose of the exercise today, we are only concerned about things that concern you as a person. Everything that you have on your list automatically comes under the circle of concern. We will talk a bit more about this as we go on. We now move to the second speaker of the day. Our second speaker of the day is Neeti, a software engineer and mother of two daughters. Neeti's evaluator is Sahil Madan, a very upright treasurer. Whenever he stands here, I'm very afraid in case we touch the fan and bring it down. Sahil, maybe please invite you to share the objectives of Neeti's speech.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Lavina. So, Toastmaster Niti will be delivering level 1 project 2 of leadership development once again. And her purpose was to take feedback and implement it during the next speech. So, she has taken feedback. And the two main points addressed were hand gestures and page movement. So, special emphasis will be provided on that. And her speech title is Positive Affirmations. I would like to hand over the stage to Toastmaster Lavina.
Positive affirmations, Toastmaster Neeti, positive affirmations.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. So, who all of you find difficult to accept changes in your life? So does I. I got married very early. Like I completed my studies and I got placed in an MNC. Things were changing very soon around me, and I was trying to accept all the changes. Suddenly, I realized that I have developed corns in my left foot, and that too were very painful. And they started increasing one by one, and the number increased to 7. I went to many doctors, and everyone suggested to undergo a surgery. But I was very reluctant to that surgery. I did many home remedies, like soaking them in water, cutting them with blade, putting salt on it, burning them with candles. Whoever so said, but nothing worked. One day, while I was sitting in office, I had a discussion with my friend. She suggested that why don't you meet a doctor that visited our office every Tuesday? I went to him, and after listening to my problem, he gave me a journal of around 40 pages and asked me to fill it and come next week. I filled the journal, although it contained basic questions like what do you like to eat, which places you want to visit, which color is your favorite. I filled the journal and went to him. He read the journal and asked me to repeat 2 lines. I was a bit puzzled. Like, instead of giving me any medicine, he is asking me to repeat the lines. I came out of the room and I had a discussion with the same friend. She said, you have tried everything. Why don't you give a shot to this? I thought for a while and I started repeating those lines. Initially, it was very difficult to repeat, but suddenly I started repeating it with conviction. And the miracle happened after a month and a half. All my 7 corns were healed without any surgery, and it was a surprise for me and my family. I went again to the doctor saying him thank you. He said, just keep smiling and accept the changes. I still remember that day. After a few years, I met someone in my in-laws family and they were discussing about the books. and suggested me to read a book called You Can Heal Your Life by Louis L. I purchased that book, and while reading, I came across the same two sentences that the doctor has asked me to repeat. And then I came to know about positive affirmations. Positive affirmations are short statements that we repeat to ourselves to help cultivate and build our self motivation. By repeating those lines, we try to build us or motivate ourselves. By repeating those lines again and again, we are building our self confidence, reducing stress, anxiety, and it also helps us to motivate and be focused on our goals. For example, if you have a goal to improve your health, you can repeat lines like, I am confident, I make healthy choices every day. By repeating these lines continuously, it will remind you of the things like you are making healthy choices for yourself. I am confident. Whatever I touch is a success. As I release my past, I am grateful. These are some of the positive affirmations. Remember, positive affirmations work well when they are repeated regularly, ideally on daily basis. You can repeat them aloud. You can write them. You or what you can do is you can repeat them silently in your mind throughout the day. With doing this positive affirmations, you need also be with the positive people around. When you talk to these positive people, they will uplift you, support you. Also, you should search for positive books, podcasts, other resources that help you to build your mindset. In conclusion, positive affirmations are, when repeated on regular basis, they keep you motivated. Thank you.
The issue with the worries in the circle of concern is that some of these worries you may have a control over and some you may not. For example, the other day I read about the increasing instances of whaling. Whales are hunted for their bones, for their skin, and are an endangered mammal. There was an exhibition which happened in the USA, which I attended virtually. What the author did was that the number of whales that were hunted in the last 1 year, and please be mindful, the last 1 year was a year wherein we were just coming out of COVID. So activities were still reduced. So the artist, she made paper whales. For every whale that was hunted, she made paper whales, origami paper whales, and strung them on a string. You enter a hall and you go through curtains of origami paper whales. And each and every origami paper whale is equivalent to one whale which has been hunted and killed. So, and people are going through this exhibition which is far larger than the size of this room. And when you go through these things, they hit you that this is what is happening in the world. And I was going through this on the computer and I was getting increasingly worried about it. I was reading about the repercussions of whaling, how it is upsetting the ecosystem of the seas, of the oceans, how it is upsetting the food chain above and below the whale, and the repercussion that will have for generations to come, which I will not even be alive to see. These repercussions, which I have no control about, these actions, which I have no control about, I was thinking about them and getting worried. That is why it is very essential to classify your worries from within your circle of concern to those that are a circle of control. Circle of control are worries that you can take action on and mitigate them. For example, a worry I have that I have pegged in my circle of control is the neck ache that I started getting due to bad posture, due to the long hours I spend on the computer. I can control that. I can take regular breaks, follow the Pomodoro method. Every 25 minutes, I take a 5-minute break. I can do neck exercises at least twice a day, and that helps. This is under my control. Preventing whaling is not under my circle of control, it is in my circle of concern. Moving on. The third speech of the day is by our very own President Saurabh Kanra, and to his good or bad luck, I am his speech evaluator. Some scores will be settled, some things will be brought to roost today. Saurabh will be delivering his social speech, which is L3 supporting speech 2 of the Pathway Dynamic Leadership. The purpose of the project is for the member to practice delivering social speeches in front of club members. A social speech is typically a speech, a well organized, well delivered speech with appropriate content for the type of social speech. A social speech may be a toast, an acceptance speech, a speech to honor an individual, or a speech to honor an organization. Okay, 1 minute. Saurav Kanra receiving the runner-up cup. Receiving the runner-up cup, Saurav Kanra.
2002 January, it was cold out there, and I'm a part of my so-called cricket club. I'm not a master of all trade. I'm not specialist also. I'm not a good batsman. I'm not a good bowler or fielder. I always be there like by chance. From my childhood, I'm a very lazy person. I don't understand things very quickly or absorb things very quickly. That's why I did one thing. I make that task to learn my muscle, make it a muscle memory. That's why whenever I speak, actually, I didn't speak. My tongue did that activities and create that sound. It was that semi-final day when I was there as a sleeper, and unfortunately, I was 110 kilo weight. I cannot move my body that much like others who are so sophisticated fielder in my group. But somehow, due to that muscle memory part, I saved couple of runs. I got couple of catches during that match. Some background of that particular team. That team actually played 14 long years in B division cricket in that particular city called Purulia. I was a college student, and one of my teammate actually introduced me to this Fuse cricket division. It was a very fun time I spent during that time. But as I told that, I'm not very good player throughout my session. Though I dreamed that time that I may sometime maybe selected for Indian cricket team, but that doesn't happen during that time actually. And I dropped that idea when we or my team dropped from that particular team. I'm always a person you can select me or you can not select me. That depends on your choice, because if you drop me from that particular team, that team whether lose or definitely lose. That is the two options you have. Okay, the 14 years that particular team actually playing for B division cricket, and this is the first time I was selected for semi-final match. And as I told you that because of certain activities that my muscle during that time supported me, and I saved couple of runs, and I caught a couple of catches uh, from particular portion, and thus the most uh, precious part of that particular match, I can say that happened that we won this semi-final match, and that particular team moved to A division. Now, when match was over, a local TV channel came to me and told me that I am going to take a small interview of you. It will be a 1 or 2 minute, but uh, it will be good for you to share your thoughts, and you can actually make us understand how it happened, because from the outside, when a spectator actually see the match, they thought that it is your practice for which your body moves in that particular way. But I know the truth that it is not a practice, but it is just the reflection part that I manage to build in my own body. The interview happened, and during that interview, I'm going to tell that particular story. I'm going to articulate that particular story about that interview. After the match over, we got the field. I have the field in my hand. An interviewer came. Wow, Saurabh, you did a great job down there, and because of you, I believe that this cup goes to your club, because for last 14 years, this club never ever got the chance to move from B division to A division. Me, like, do you really think that? Because this is not a one-player game, but this is an 11-player game. Every person did his job. That's why the entire team actually performed, and we won together. It is not a one-man job. So no, I saw this particular thing for last couple of years. I am very precise that last 5 years, but never ever this particular team won any of the match. But because of your activities, you did that two to three catches during the match. That helps to broke down the opponent team. Sir, I don't know how you actually came to this conclusion, but I believe that I did nothing. That is a part of my game, but uh, yes, that happened. We did a very good practice. That's why it happened to me, and I tried to help my team to achieve that particular level. That so-called reporter told me that I believe you are not accepting this scenario, this situation, that you are the lucky champ for this particular team. That's why this team received his first ever runner-up championship, and they are able to move from Division B to Division A. So, I was so humble, but I cannot accept that for me, as because I thought every time that whatever I did, wherever I participate, that is not basically for me, but for the team. But after next year, because whenever that particular two teams who fought for semi-final and went to final matches, that particular team, those two teams, moved from B division to A division, and unfortunately, my captain dropped me in 2003 A division matches, and they lost that game, and they again moved from A division to B division. During that time only, I recall that whether I was lucky charm or not, but you have to select me in your team so that the things must go on. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurabh. The problem with the circle of control is that at times there are things which are not entirely under our control. There are things we can do something about, but things we cannot do everything about. For example, my father carries quite a few frown lines on his forehead. How do I get rid of the frown lines? How do I take all of his worries away? Can I take all of his worries away? I cannot. I can take some of his worries away. I can find out what are the things that concern him the most. and work towards it. So between a circle of concern and a circle of control is a circle of influence. A circle of influence is the thing over which we have indirect control about. To articulate this a bit better, I'll share a story with you guys that I read. Australia, as you know, is an island nation. It has a very vast beach line. The beach in Australia runs for miles and miles, in fact, thousands of miles. Every morning with the high tide on this one particular beach, the name of which I'm forgetting, the high tide washes up a lot of starfish onto the beach. Starfish are aquatic mammals which need water to survive. What happens? They're there on the beach, they flap their fins, eventually they get dehydrated and die. So what the story said was that there was a gentleman who used to go to the beach every morning for his morning walk. This gentleman would be in his 70s. You start getting age-related posture, walking problems. He would go to the beach every morning for his hour-long walk. This is the coast. He used to come to a starfish, bend, pick it up, and throw it back into the water. Next starfish, then a third. A youngster saw him doing this and went up to him and questioned, "Mate, there are thousands of starfish. What are you trying to do? What can you do? You cannot make a difference." This older gentleman, he went, made a difference to that one. That's your circle of influence. We now move to the second part of our meeting, which is the table topics, which are extemporary table topics. The table topic master of the day is Anand. I remember that correctly. Before we invite the table topic master, our table topic evaluator is again DTM Shahid. DTM Shahid, if we could have you on stage to share the objectives and on what basis you will be evaluating.
Thank you, Toastmasters Lavina. Okay, so good afternoon, Toastmasters. As the table topics evaluator, my focus will be on your strengths. When you come on stage, you are always thinking, where will I go wrong? But here in table topics, I want you to come on stage and talk about and think about where you are good at and do that. And I'm going to focus on it, that where you are good at. And if there is any scope of improvement, I'll definitely tell you that this is the scope of improvement so that you can improve yourself in impromptu speeches. That will be all. I'll share my details at the end of the meeting. Over to Toastmasters.
Thank you, DTM Shahid. We now invite the table topic master of the day, Anand. Toastmaster Anand, the software engineer, loves watching movies.
And swimming also.
And swimming also.
Thank you.
Over to you.
Thank you, TMOD. Hello again, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm here today as a table topic master. I have some topics which are very interesting, at least I believe that. And in this session, we are supposed to come on stage one by one and talk on the topic for approx 1 minute at least and maximum 2 minutes. I would like to request you all to volunteer to come on stage. Otherwise, I will request you all to come on stage one by one. So who's going to come first? Please volunteer for the topics I have. Saurav.
Sika,
Shifa, come.
your mentor told you.
Don't listen to me. Please come. I have several numbers.
Give me the first one. The first
Okay.
What is more fascinating, river or ocean?
water bodies is all I know.
The topic is rejected.
River or ocean? Okay. Okay. Again.
It's so broad, you know.
Yeah.
No bigger.
All right. Okay, fine. Okay, so what is more fascinating for me? I am a water baby ever since my childhood. My father literally pushed me into a pool because he believes that I should be a good swimmer, and apparently we had access to one of the club membership as well. But I haven't still mustered the courage. Though I'm a decent swimmer, I have been able to swim in lakes, sea as well. I've gone scuba, done everything, but I haven't still mustered the courage to swim in an ocean. I'm still tremulous in that sense. But however, so I think it would be beautiful. My one of the dreams is that I could just be like very close to a whale. I could skip a heartbeat. I would love to skip a heartbeat looking a whale up close to me. So obviously, I'll have to be somewhere down in the ocean for that. So yes, definitely ocean is little more fascinating because river though is more serene and calming in that sense that it will give you the peace effect. But I think being a more adventurous person that I am, I would still prefer to be in an ocean and explore lot of good aquatic life down below, and maybe fulfill also my fascinations and dreams that I have of coming up close to a whale. So for me, an ocean will be more fascinating. Thanks for the topic. Thank you.
So, choose your number.
Number any
Anyone.
5, 7, 10, 11, 5. Thank you so much. Salman Khan. No. Sorry. What do you think about mountains? What are they? They are image of myself. I'm a fond lover of mountains. Thank you so much for the topic. It's a very nice topic. And I was born there in Darjeeling, so I'm a mountain baby. I can say that. Unlike Seekers water baby. Okay. So I'm always attracted to mountains because mountain has a very silent gestures. You are talking about Oris today. So if you have any thoughts, these are not Oris. I suggest you can travel to mountain, sit over there in that particular silence, and you will get answers to all your thoughts you generated in your mind. Because what happened, we have so many sounds out there in our society, we are not able to think properly. So if you want to come out. I believe I'm just snatching the last point of PMOD today. But when you feel like if you are tired of something, if you are worried of something, or if you are not able to think that particular subject, drive down to mountain, sit over there, and mountain will tell you the answer. Thank you so much.
Who wants to come next?
Seventh. So the topic is, do you want to live forever? Yes or no, and why? I need 1 minute to think.
You only have 30 seconds.
To think, huh? Okay.
30 will do.
Okay, so it's a very, I must say, in general topic. So for me, there are specific things which I have to do in my life. There are specific goals that I have chosen. They are not all, but I have chosen some of the goals that uh, I have to achieve in my life. And if I want to live forever or not, that depends. Um, in my old age, what problems do I get? Like, do I have back pain or do I have other diseases? So if I have a lot of diseases, then I do not want to live forever. But if I do not have any of the diseases and um, at the age of 90 or 95 or 99, if I was still like myself right now, So yes, I want to live forever. So this is my topic of the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Shiraz?
No, Miraj.
Yes, sir. You call my names. And you call my
Four?
names. To stand here and speak about the topic which you're going to give.
Sorry?
Yuvraj, the table topic master.
Very interesting topic. Do you believe in aliens? Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Once again. Topic is very interesting. And when I like 4 to 5 years ago, I was very interested in such topics. Does alien exist? And I have read about it. I was watching videos about it. Do aliens exist or not? And I was thinking, let's say if alien exist, where they do live? Outside Earth? Where do they live? How do they eat? And what do they eat? And how do they talk? And I was interesting to know about them. And I was watching some videos wherein some of the scientists mentioned that yes, they exist, and some of them were not agreed to this theory that whether they exist or not. But I mean, we have read some news in the newspaper that yes, they do exist, aliens, and
Go on.
so yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter whether they exist or not, but they should not bug us. They should be beneficial for us. That is the point. Thank you.
Who's left? Sahil bhai? Number, please.
Any number.
Any number.
8.
Okay.
Okay.
What are your thoughts about love and its relevance in today's society?
He's yet to call him many times.
Now, love can be of many types. It can be a friendship kind of love. It can be a bonding kind of love, a husband-wife relationship. I do believe in love. I haven't got success in a relationship kind of love, but friends, family, I totally believe in that. People who support you, who have been with you through your ups and downs, the people whom you have supported, I think the bonding with them is a true definition of love. Even in relationships, the small fights, the small fights and the solutions or agreement right after, that is also a very true definition of love. So yes, I do believe in love, and I do think it is relevant in today's society. It is very important for people to support each other and to grow as a society. Love is very important. Thank you.
Sahil sir, Dr. Bhai?
Okay. Thank you. Okay, the check is already selected.
Just random question. Okay. What do you look for in a person to start a friendship?
Good afternoon, Toastmasters. What do you look for in a person to start a friendship? By default, I'm a very friendly person. The first thing that gives me an impression that I'll actually connect with the person as a friend is the aura that the person depicts. If the person has a smiling face, a pleasant personality, is forthcoming, or even if the person is shy, does not matter to me. Okay, what matters to me is that the person is giving or oozing an aura of positivity. If the person is positive, he is part of my whole group of friendship, what you call. If he is not positive, I stay away from him. Then he is more of a business-like thing for me, someone who I can treat. And when I see a negative person, I see money in him. And when I see a positive person, I see friendship in him. It's so simple. I just divided it into two parts. If you are negative, come to me. I'll counsel you and make you a positive person. You will not be my friend, you will be my client. But if you are a positive person, you are part of my team. You're part of my group, you're part of my friendship because positivity breeds positivity. The more you are smiling to the people, the more you are, you know, complacent and more I don't know. I just sometimes do not know how to define friendship. People say that friendship is about giving support, giving credit, giving praise, drinking together, doing what. For me, friendship is that even if you are not meeting a person for an eternity, and when you meet and greet, you are as if have been bed partners for a very long time. So this is something of my definition of friendship. I have a friend whom I meet only once in a year, but when we meet, time just passes as if it does not even exist. This is what is friendship all about. Connect with people, share positivity, give positivity, and that's what friendship is all about. Thank you.
Now, Nikki's turn. We have 3, 6, 1, 9, 10.
6. What image comes to your mind when you hear the word police?
Police.
Police.
The thing come in my mind when
What image?
it's about my daughter. Whenever she sees a police, she always try to hide. I was like, why are you hiding? She didn't understand what are the police for. What is the police is for? She always used like whenever police is around, like she used to hide anywhere beside me or anywhere. So one day I talked to her. What is the problem with you? Why are you always keep on hiding? She told me that she is very afraid of police. She has always sees in movies that police is arresting anyone. She didn't understand the meaning why police is arresting the people. But she was always like, whenever I'll go in front of him, they will arrest me. So I explained her one day that nothing is like that. Only the people who does bad deeds are get arrested by the police. So now she is fine, but still she hides whenever she sees the police. So that's thank you.
RTM Modi, would you like to join?
10.
10.
Do you think celebrities and sports persons are making much more money than they deserve? Unless and until you are born in Ambani or Adani's family, the amount of money that you make is directly proportional to the value that you bring to the table. Law of economics, demand and supply. If you are given that much supply of money, it is because you are that much a demand. Celebrities and sports persons, they make money because they reach out to that many number of people. It's a simple logic. It's a fundamental. For example, if I'm a shopkeeper and I am selling this marker at a profit of 10 rupees, I sell this marker to one person. I'm reaching out to one person, I get 10 rupees. I reach out to 10 people, I get 100 rupees. If I reach out to 1 crore people, I get 10 crore rupees. The money I make is a direct proportion of my reach and my ability to sell. This becomes higher in case when you are a celebrity or you're a sports person because you are able to give that value to a greater number of people. That is why you get more money. In a nutshell, I believe that celebrities and sports persons definitely deserve the money they make. The effort they may be putting in today may not be commensurate, but they have put in the work. You have had sports people who have slogged since childhood with very low probability of success. People who slogged on the field of cricket for 16, 18 hours a day with no backup plans. And they are reaping the benefits now. So I'm all for them making money, and I wish I would achieve the cult celebrity status someday soon, so I can sell shampoos, markers, soaps, Ferraris, and have a wonderful bank balance. Thank you.
So this concludes our capability section. Now I hand over the stage to our deciding officer.
Boss.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. Here.
Thank you, Princess Having Master.
Everyone.
No, I did.
Now, coming back to our circle of control, circle of influence, circle of concern, this is the model given by Dr. Stephen Covey in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, a book I greatly recommend each and every one of you to read at least once every 2 months.
Which one?
The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Dr. Stephen Covey. Dr. Stephen Covey said that I am a product not of my circumstances, I am a product of my decisions. Now, these circles help you to decide where to focus your time and energy in. The worries you have listed on the piece of paper in front of you can all be classified under a circle of control, a circle of influence, and circle of concern. If your primary focus is on worries which are under your circle of control, and to some extent secondary focus on the circle of influence, you will be leading a life which is proactive and positive, because you will be working on worries which are in your control. You will see those worries melting away, becoming smaller, things getting resolved. As a result, you will be more positive, you will have greater self confidence, things will start happening for you, and you will be happier. If your focus is on the worries which are in the circle of concern, for example, the whaling expedition, the Ukrainian war, or any other thing, you will just be sitting and worrying about them with very limited influence. You cannot change the outcome. Your time and energy, which are limited for everybody, will go towards things which are not getting resolved. As a result, there will be more of negativity, demotivation, and unhappiness. So be very careful on how you choose your worries. This model will help you do it. We now move to the last section of our meeting, the evaluations. I invite our general evaluator for the day, DTM Sahib.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Lavina. Good afternoon once again, Toastmasters. First, please accept my apologies for abruptly leaving the meeting for almost 10 minutes due to certain exigencies. But I'm back in action. I would now request the speech evaluator of Toastmaster Shikha, Toastmaster Saurabh, to come on stage and give us the evaluation of the speech of Toastmaster Shikha.
Wow, thank you so much, DTM side, sir. Good evening, everyone. Evaluating Toastmaster Sikha is a great job actually for me, because what we understood in last couple of sessions, couple of speeches, that Sikha is a very good orator. Sikha has a very good control over speeches, in particular language called English. Also, she has a very good capacity of using the vocabulary in this particular language. Sikha is trying her level best to learn this voice modulation actually. Today's speech that Sikha actually articulated is basically the title is Don't Listen, which is, I believe, a very strong topic. I'm not going to evaluate this good part. As a team, we already knew that how Sikha is in terms of language or in terms of vocabulary. But when it comes to vocal variety, that Sika is actually asked her evaluator to explain in front of others. What I understand is that Sika is in very, I don't know means why Sika is so much hurry to deliver her speech. Means for last 2 or 3 evaluations, I heard that means all the other evaluator told her to understand the importance of pause. When you use the vocal variety, then you have to give your audience time to absorb the variety. If I am using a high pitch or I am going to a low pitch, between that particular pitch, you have to use the pause so that your audience understand that two different person talking about. Okay, so when Sikha is actually delivering her speech, she highlighted mother, father, herself, and certain situations where she when he changed the situation, it needs some pause time so that we can understand. I believe you have to work on that. Sometimes you used that sad portion. When it is a sad portion, it's still smiling. So you are not uh, following your gestures. If it is you are worried about something, you have to showcase your face gestures also that you are worried. You are smiling and you are saying that I am so sad. That actually not go hand by hand. That is one thing that when you use confused, okay, you still smiling. Okay, because when you are talking with your brother and you are saying that you are smiling, sorry, you are confused, but you are smiling, that actually need to be learned in your session. And what I observe that sometimes unnecessary smiling is there because I believe that you are only focusing on Toastmaster Anand and he was smiling from the from the audience stage, and it will happen when you deliver a speech. Audience will try to control you, and that you have to control. Okay, so that is the only observation I had. Also, when you are trying to use voice modulation, you have to uh, I believe you have to record yourself, and then you have to learn or you have to understand that by then only you can improve in that particular point. That's all from my end. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurav. That was a very fantastic, candid evaluation you have just done. Thank you so much. Since I did not hear the speech of Shikha, I give full credit and full marks to Toastmaster Saurav for delivering this evaluation with his best of capabilities, because we all have some, some positive feeling, some love in our mind, and it is our area of concern that we want to control people's speeches and tell them that this is something you have to do. So we are actually worried about our speakers and we want to influence them. So we do have that influence, circle of influence on them. We are worried that they will not be that good up to the mark in speeches. So we have an influence, and as evaluators, we influence them. But our area of control is not in our hands. Here, what Toastmasters tells us that when you are giving a feedback in terms of a recommendation, please illustrate an example or tell them a way out of how to do it. So you cannot tell people how to control your emotions. If somebody has an ever smiling face, you cannot make them cry or tell them not to do it. But yes, you can always influence them by telling them that if you sync your mind with your emotions, things will start coming out the way you want them to come out. If you have something sad in your heart, or you are given a topic that is hilarious, it becomes very difficult to come out of that sad situation and move to that hilarious part. And it's vice versa. So you need to understand that when you're coming on stage, a lot of emotions are going on, a lot of things are going on, and that is something that you have to control. Sometimes some people laugh because they are worried. They laugh because they are tense. So we need to understand that part of it. That comes with empathy. With that, I would now like to call upon stage our next speech evaluator, who is Toastmaster Sahil, who is going to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Neeti. Toastmaster Sahil.
Thank you so much, DTM Shahid. I tried my best to manage the roles. So Toastmaster Neeti presented a level 1 project 2 of leadership development, and her speech title was Positive Affirmations. Talking about the content was great. She started with an engaging question. So that is actually recommended in Toastmasters to start with either an engaging question or some engaging story or a quote. So that part is checked. At the start, she was a little nervous. So when she came at the stage, she was a little nervous. She actually looked down a lot, which is a sign of being nervous. But gradually, as she became more comfortable, she improved. The next point is the 2 points that were to be more emphasized upon. That is the hand gestures and the stage movement. Now, a lot of improvement was seen in hand gestures. For example, left foot. She actually gestured the left foot, and this, if something was repeated, she said actually something is repeating. So the hand gesture was there also. But some improvement can be depicted in hand gestures as well. Coming to the stage movement, I did not observe a lot of stage movement. There was some back and forth stage movement, but more focus should be on vertical stage movement and eventually coming to the center. Next point is, as she gradually became more comfortable, the facial expressions started to kick in. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this or not, but the table topic, you could learn a lot from your table topic speech. I observed that you were more comfortable and you were depicting more facial expressions when you were delivering your table topic speech, because that was something that you wanted the audience to know, and that was something that you were comfortable speaking about. So it happens with a lot of us. A speech is a totally different thing. We have to rehearse it, and it might be something many times that is out of our comfort zone. So you could learn a lot from your table topic speech. And one recommendation is, most of the times you only look at the right audience, the people who are sitting at the right. So I was sitting here, and some people might also be sitting there. We did not feel a lot of engagement. So you could also, try to focus on all of the audience. So that is it from my side, and I would like to hand over the stage to BK Sahil.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sahil. Before we move on to the next speech, I would like to request a small break of not more than 5 to 10 minutes, just because the tea has come and it should not get cold for the people who like tea, who like it hot. So let's have a 5 to 10 minutes break, and then we'll be back on the stage. Thank you.
जलेबी और समोसा खिला देता है मैं वापस आया तो अपने स्पीड
आपने मोमो पे डाल दी थी ना बात।
ना मोमो भी अवेलेबल है
ये मोमोज अच्छे नहीं होते यहाँ के।
हाँ
मेरा
जलेबी और समोसा ठीक
अच्छा समोसे अच्छे होते हैं।
जलेबी और समोसा
Okay. So now I would like to call upon stage the next speech evaluator, Toastmaster Lavina, to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Saurabh. Toastmaster Lavina.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Good evening again, everybody. First of all, I would like to congratulate Toastmaster Saurabh on the immense progress that he's made in the last 1 month. A month ago, I had evaluated another of his speeches, and I remember giving some distinct feedbacks on stage movement, grammatical mistakes, filler words, and on all three aspects, there was a marked improvement today. Throughout the speech, Saurav was moving. The stage was getting utilized horizontally, a bit vertically. When one does that, the audience is attentive. Their attention stays on you, because since you are moving, the possibility of the audience zoning out decreases. Secondly, we come to grammar. English is not the first or primary vernacular language of Saurabh. However, I could only spot one grammar mistake today, and that is a marked improvement from the times when I used to stop counting. Filler words, while our counter will be the best judge, I did not notice any filler word that took my attention away from the speech. So big round of applause to our president for this marked improvement and the work that would have gone into it. The content Saurav chose today was about the time when he won a cricket tournament, which was followed by a reporter interviewing him. All of these instances provided immense scope for depiction and action. He was talking about cricket. When you think about cricket, what do you think? A bowling action? Okay, I'm not that tall. Sahil, we would have to be worried about a batting action or a fielding action. The Saurav played a significant part in his team's victory. I still don't know what did he do. That is something I would have liked to know a bit more about. Cricket gives a lot of scope for visualization, acting, drama. That is one recommendation. Then we had the bit about the reporter interviewing him. It was a monologue. It could have been depicted simply by making better use of the stage. The reporter could have been in one box, or it could have been in another box. The reporter could have been interviewing using a mic, or could have been looking down and speaking into the mic. That gives a bit more flair to the speech and takes it to the next level when you're acting it out. That being said, some things which Saurabh excelled at were voice clarity and volume. Anybody sitting in any corner of the room could hear what he was saying very clearly. Throughout, he had a smile on his face, which helped us connect with him and the content that he was talking about. His voice was clear, he was engaged with the content, he had lived it. And despite the lack of action or drama, which I would have liked, the way he was narrating it was engaging enough to hold my attention throughout. So, all in all, big congratulations to Saurav, and I hand over the stage back to Mr. Ganguly.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Lavina. Again, a fantastic evaluation of a fantastic speaker. I have seen Toastmaster Saurav going leaps and bounds in terms of delivering his speeches and learning from his own mistakes. The only thing that I would request Toastmaster Lavina as an evaluator to focus on is the diction of Toastmaster Saurav. Incidentally, I have transferred the mentorship of mine to Toastmaster Lavina in terms of Saurav. So he is now going to be mentored by Toastmaster Lavina as a special request. And I would request that from this day onwards, we are all a family. We all are knowing each other's strengths and weaknesses. So as of now today, we see Saurav coming up as a good speaker. But something is that lacking in his speech is his diction, his pronunciation, and his grammar, which very aptly was pointed out by our grammar Nazi Toastmaster Lavina that it was only just one mistake. So that is something to be really applauded about, that Toastmaster Saurav is achieving that level of grammar for which he looks up to Toastmasters. So I'm looking up to this, that Toastmaster Lavina is going to give her the best in terms of her learning of vocabulary and grammar to Toastmaster Saurav and make him the next level speaker, because two people in my club are very excited in terms of participating in ISC, and I am the barrier that is stopping them to go to that place. Toastmaster Shikha and Toastmaster Saurav, and of course Toastmaster Lavina. The day she completes her level B, I see something in her that none of you do actually see. That he can be the next world champion of public speaking. The only thing is that he is not having that conviction in her to achieve that level. She is a high level procrastinator. So let's pray for her, because we can only pray for procrastinators, nothing else. And those two horses that we have in our club, Toastmaster Saurav and Toastmaster Shikha, wish them all the best for their ISC contest very soon that they are going to achieve. Now I would like to call upon stage the table topics evaluator, that is me, to evaluate the table topic speeches. Like I told you, I am going to evaluate your speeches on your strengths. But other than that, I am also going to evaluate these tabletop speakers on one more aspect. That is, what is your strength in terms of a impromptu speaker? So when you are given a topic, it's like they say, what's your excuse for coming late, for missing your date, for missing your lunch, for missing your work, whatever is your excuse. And at that time, what is your strength to process that excuse in your mind so quickly that it becomes very convincing for the other person to listen to, and they actually agree to what you are saying and give you an empathetic view of their own point. Okay. So this is one strength that I'm going to look at as an impromptu speaker, and also I'm going to discuss your own strengths here right now. So the first speaker was Toastmaster Shikha. What is more fascinating, river and ocean? She has a very strong content and a very great vocabulary. She has also got a very good voice. This is what she needs to work on, is the structure of her thought process. So she at times is thinking faster than the speed of light. So she's moving very fast. She should think with the speed of sound, not with the speed of light, because we are light years ahead of achieving that level of speaking. So you should speak with the speed of sound. You should understand that when you are actually delivering a speech on stage, people are more into how you are making them feel. And for that, you need to first structure your speech and then deliver a message at the end. Toastmaster Saurav, what do you think about mountains? So it was like as if the topics were coming in a faithful manner. Of first we talk about rivers, then we talk about mountains. And I was thinking that somebody would then talk about deserts, but it did not happen. The mountains came, and then we had a mountain lover, we had a river lover, and then we had a person who was adventurous enough to think about swimming with the whales. I think there was a movie on that, swimming with the whales, or maybe swimming with the sharks. So just gave me a good metaphor to swim with the whales. Imagine Shikha swimming with the whales.
It's in Avatar.
So Saurabh was talking about mountains. He claimed that he is a mountain boy. Again, what is the strength of Saurabh? He has a very easy demeanor. He does not care. When he comes on stage, he wants to be himself. He does not worry that people will judge him. He does not worry that people will say something about him at his back or at his face, whatever. Because I say things at his face, he takes them very nicely. Things that come from his back, he does not care. So that is the attitude that he has on stage, and that is a strength. With that strength, he was actually able to process the topic quickly. It was also close to his heart because he's a mountain boy. He talked about it. He told us that what mountains have an influence on you. How do they influence you? How do they influence your emotions? And this is something that he did very well. Kudos to Toastmaster Saurav for processing the topic so well and working on his strength. Then we had our guest Shivendra. So he was asked if he wants to become immortal. Does he want to live forever? And if yes, then why? He took some time to think. He was a little nervous, yet he had a very confident aura. He was not, strolling around like a wild cat or a caged pigeon. He was still standing his ground, was actually thinking. He was saying, okay, I can face you. He started processing that 30-second time he had to process. He processed the things, and then he came up with the topic. He started off well, but as there is, why do I always say, when I greet people, I say ladies and gentlemen and Toastmasters. So ladies and gentlemen are always below Toastmasters. So you as a gentleman is very good, but the moment you join Toastmasters, you will realize that you become a better person. So I would request you to take the leap of faith, use your wallet, and become a Toastmaster and you'll see the difference. The day you see, you can look at that difference in Toastmaster Anand. You can talk to him for his feedback. You can look at that on Miraj. He has recently joined. The moment he joined Toastmasters, he had a different feeling. And you can also talk to Neeti because she is a live example of jumping into the bandwagon without any thought of that, okay, who is in the club, who is not. He just wanted to be a Toastmaster. And look at her journey that we have just heard in the break, what her mentor Shikha was telling her. Toastmaster Viraj, do you believe in aliens? The beauty of Toastmasters Viraj is that he always makes a joke, cracks a joke about something with the compare or with the MC, and then he takes the things forward. This is a fantastic way of actually breaking the ice on stage. We just learn things from people. He came and he talked to him, and then he broke that ice and the topic. He got that time to think. I could not find any strength in him right now because as a speaker, he's still evolving. But as a person, when he came on stage, he knew what he wanted. He wanted to stay on stage for 2 minutes, and he did that. He was there on stage for 2 minutes. He talked about aliens. He had no clue what aliens were. He definitely talked about aliens. And he actually stood his ground. Let's give a big round of applause to Miraj for facing the alien in him and standing his ground. Then comes Toastmaster Sahil. So, what are your thoughts about love and its retirement? What an apt question from a person who has led a loveless life till now. He's so focused on his ambition as in an education that I definitely salute him. Because with his physique, with his demeanor, with his personality, 3 or 4 girls would have been under his belt and he would have been moving around. No doubt in that. Yet, when it came to the topic, he was very quickly processing it. He had a very good philosophical idea about love. He was not moving around. So anyone just spread the word around that we have a very good eligible bachelor in our club. Anyone who can follow him for 2 years, stick around with him, he's going to make a great husband. Because the way he depicted the philosophy of it, the power of honesty, and the thoughts that he honestly shared is something that girls look up to boys to take them home, not to the bar. So he's the guy who you can take home and introduce to your parents that you can spend your life with him because he's so honest, so truthful about what love is all about. Again, kudos to Toastmaster Sahil for cracking this topic. Toastmaster Shahid was the next speaker. I'll refrain from speaking about it. I would request someone to give me an offline feedback, just like Shikha did. Thank you, Shikha, for breaking the ice for that. She actually evaluated me last time. You did not come. Now you should do it. Toastmaster Neeti. What image comes to your mind when you see the police? Toastmaster Neeti, this question is something for guys to understand, not for girls to actually process. That if a policeman comes to them, they always feel okay, fine. He's just another man in a uniform. Does not care. I see my daughter or my son every day in uniform, and they are more terrifying than this policeman. So it's wrong. But she again worked on it. She thought, what happens to someone else, and who more close than her daughter? Again, this is quick thinking, good processing. And then what beauty of any table topic is that she gave a takeaway. She actually explained things to her daughter, and then she wanted to give a takeaway, which she missed. She should have told us that seeing a policeman or a person in uniform is not a big deal. You can always comfort yourself by talking to him, or she could have also taken her daughter to a policeman, gave him a flower, and introduced her to him so that she could break ice with that person and be more, come out of the trauma that she's seeing in the movies by seeing those policemen arresting people and all. Toastmaster Lavina, Her title was, "Do you think celebrities are making more money than they deserve?" Toastmaster Lavina, with her same positive strength and her always, she always has that aura of positivity about her. She does not demean anyone. She does not uh, cut down anyone in any way. People definitely get envious that celebrities are earning so much. So you can always say that they are not doing this. But she actually justified that why do they do it? Why do they deserve it that they should earn more money? She told us how they spend more time, how they have more followings, how they work hard behind the scenes to achieve that. This is what is called actually processing the thought, making the right excuse. She must have been a very good, excuse maker with her principals and teachers, because she always knows what to say and how to say it. She did it very well. The only feedback that I wish to give to Toastmaster Lavina is that please take my place as VP Education in the next session. Please, 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 please do it. That is all from my side. The evaluations. I would now like to call upon stage our auxiliary team. So first, please help me welcome Toastmaster Sahil as the R counter as well as the grammarian. Toastmaster Sahil.
Thank you so much, DTM Shahid. First, I'll present my report as the grammarian. Word of the day, tremulous, was used once by DTM Shahid and twice by Toastmaster Shika. I'll come next to the good usages. DTM Shahid used demeanor, forthcoming, oozing, breed, and diction. A round of applause for Toastmaster Lavina as well as Shika for their plethora of vocabulary and good usages. Please. Okay. Coming to Toastmaster Lavina, we have mitigate, articulate, hunky-dory, repercussions, frown, proportion, snog, and depiction. Toastmaster Shika had serene, weeping, gradually, digress, and mustard, societal, conventional, and content. Toastmaster Neeti had reluctant. Toastmaster Saurabh used articulate, jack of all trades, and sophisticated. Some bad usages were, first of all, there was some exchange in Hindi that should be avoided. It can be used before the meeting, during the break, or after the meeting, but it should be avoided during the meeting. Next was I am attract to, which should be I am attracted towards. So does I should be so do I. This positive people should be these positive people. Now a usage was there that was I had a very fun time during that time. It should be I had fun during that time, or I had fun time during those days, or some other alteration. People does bad deeds should be people who do bad deeds. That particular team moved should be that particular team moved. Hand by hand should be hand in hand. So that was my report as the grammarian. I would present my report as the accountant now. DTM Shahid used 4 hours. Toastmaster Lavina was flawless. Toastmaster Shikha, she was flawless during her speech, but during table topics she used 1 hour. Toastmaster Neeti used 1 hour, 2 likes, and 2 short pauses. Toastmaster Saurav used 2 hours, and one recommendation would be a lot of emphasis was on the word particular. So you use a lot of particular that tends to be repetitive, so you could use some synonyms or totally avoid that word. Next was guest Shivendra, who used 1 hour, 4 ums, and 1 like. Toastmaster Miraj used 2 hours, 1 and during thinking he used 1 repetitive sentence, but should be avoided. Short pause can be taken, but avoid the repetitive sentence. I could not evaluate the rest of the speakers, so for now, assume you are flawless and have a good time. That's it from my side. I'm over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sahil. Okay, we do not have an active listener today. We do not have any other role player. So I'll come to the general evaluation of the whole meeting. The meeting started again 15 minutes late. We'll again try to start the meeting at 3. Oh, sorry. Saying something inspired. Okay, please help me welcome Toastmasters Miraj as the timer of the day to give us the report. Timer report. Toastmaster Miraj. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so people who took time to complete their speeches, and she took 7 minutes. Dot, though I showed her red card, and then she just completed her speech. Niti Gupta took 5 minutes 30 seconds. Saurabh 7 minutes 20 seconds.
Qualified. 30 seconds.
And then speaker topic. Shikha took 1 minute 15 seconds. Saurabh 1 minute 8 seconds. Yes. Shivendra 1 minute 5 seconds. I took 1 minute 28 seconds. Thank you, Shahid. Shahil Madan 58 seconds. Less than a minute. Shahid sir took 2 minutes 10 seconds. This time. Niti Gupta 1 minute 33 seconds. And Lavina, you took 2 minutes.
On dot.
On the dot. Now, speech evaluator part. So, Saurabh took 3 minutes 40 seconds.
This one.
Sahil 2 minutes 19 seconds. Lavina 3 minutes 8 seconds.
Yay, qualified.
And then again, Shahid sir took, he was evaluating the speech of 60 people. So he took 1 minute to evaluate Shikha's speech. 1 minute 3 seconds for Saurabh. 1 minute 25 seconds for Shivendra. For me, 55 seconds. Sahil 1 minute 5 seconds. For Niti, he took 1 minute 5 seconds, and for Lavina 1 minute 2 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Miraj. Now comes the general evaluation part. The meeting started 15 minutes late. The acting sergeant at arms, the meeting was started by Toastmaster Anand, and I see a future sergeant at arms in him because he started the meeting with the same gusto that is required for any trained sergeant at arms. The session was taken over by the presiding officer in his happy-go-lucky demeanor, and he greeted everyone, energized everyone with his aura and his positive presence, and then he took the acknowledgement of the guest, which I believe should be the introduction of the guest, even if the guest is coming multiple times in the meeting. This is something that the presiding officer should always do. Even if you know the person, you should again take his introduction so that he feels welcome. Comes to the Toastmaster of the day. You know, the sun rises, the moon rises twice in a month. Toastmaster Lavina comes to Toastmasters meeting at least twice a month. And whenever she comes, she brings with her the same amount of energy, learning, and knowledge that she has, that I always look forward to hear from her. The role of today's Toastmaster of the day was so excellent. The topic, the theme was so apt for me at the right time because I have so many worries in my life right now. But at the moment, at this right moment, I wrote down 5 worries, and Toastmaster Lavina so aptly said that you should not write your worries, because the moment I wrote my 5th worry, I got a call and the worry started. So it's so, attracting that the moment you think of something bad, and the bad happens. Things are definitely were not in my control. I was not thinking of the whales, what they eat, how do they do it. So that was not my area of concern. But yes, today I learned where to put my circle of control and where to put my circle of influence. The exercise that the Toastmaster of the day did was actually processed by everyone in a different way. So whenever we do an exercise, we need to tell them the purpose. So what the Toastmaster of the day should have done is she should have first given us this area of circle of concern and influence and control, and then did the exercise. Because here they had a circle of concern that Toastmaster Shahid should be out of the room. That was one area of concern for them, that he should move out. The circle of influence was of 2 people. Out of them, one recognized that I am aligning my triangle with him. The other was clueless that I was doing it, and the one person was trying to influence. Niti was trying to influence me because she knew I was making a equilateral triangle with her, and she was trying to influence us. Again, the circle of concern was for Shivendra that somehow we should start the meeting and push Shahid sir out so that we win the game. So he was observing everything. He was a part of the circle of concern. The circle of control was in the hands of Niti and Anand. And Anand was clueless what's going on. And Niti knew that she could push me out. But the thing is that she actually tried to push herself out, expecting that I'll follow her, which did not happen. So this is something. How do we choose our worries? If you had been more concerned on staying in the room and manipulating the room, then I would have been out, right? That would have been the intent. Could have happened. Could have happened. But then in trying to push me out, two people already went out. That is something you need to worry about. That what is your actual influence and where you should control. A fantastic exercise. This should be done more often. A fantastic theme that we have chosen. Moving on to the table topic master, again, Toastmaster Anand did a fantastic job. The topics were well chosen and well supported. What I would suggest is that any table topic master, though this is not a mandate, but should put at least 2 or 3 topics onto the theme so that there is an ongoing, continuity of the theme and more learning is important. This is something that now, in case you don't know who is the TMOD or what is going to be their theme. So here again comes your worry and your circle of influence. That talk to them and ask them to let you know. So that way they will quickly come up with the theme and things will flow more smoothly. Now comes the speakers. For the speakers, I would suggest one thing once again, that please, the moment you allow yourself a speech, please ask who is going to be your evaluator and then share your forms. Please do download the forms from the website, and if there is any issue, just come back to me. I'll try to help you so that we know what is the purpose of our speeches that we are delivering. We are learning so many things, but the only thing that we are not able to do is that we have to have a purpose statement from the speech and then deliver the speech. That will make it more focused. That will make it more. Yes, Toastmaster Saurabh.
Can we have available evaluator prior then?
Yes, I'm working on it because first we have to have the speaker, then we have to have the evaluators, and I have to look into it that who can evaluate the speeches of that particular level. So whenever you are delivering, whenever you are volunteering for your speech, if you immediately let me know that which level are you on and which project are you on, then I can assign the evaluator a little faster. Okay, so we are soon going to get a number of evaluators.
I did that also.
Yes, you did that. That is why I gave you the evaluator quickly. But next time I'll try to do it more faster, just simultaneously with the speeches. Now comes the tag team part. Again, the tag team worked very well. We had a timer who had taken the role in advance. The R counter and the grammarian role was again taken at the last moment by Toastmaster Sahil. Whenever you are having a dual role, I would suggest you all to please volunteer so that we have a backup role for that. So, for example, if you are taking a speaker role or an evaluator role, just give me a backup that if somebody is not there, then you can take that role. This is something that I look forward to. The meeting again had the parliamentary levels. I don't know how people are getting so influenced with the fact that they are not using their mobiles. They are just keeping it down. This is something that does not happen in most meetings. And I'm really proud of Toastmasters of Delhi and TMODLs that they are actually not looking at their mobiles at all. They are so focused on the speeches. Let's give ourselves a big round of applause. There are no side talks. There are no movements. In fact, I was a little unparliamentary, but I saw some people. They were getting calls. The phone was on silent, but they were not picking up the call. And I took it upon myself to give a break so that we can make those important calls or talk to people in those moments and have some, chit chat and some ice. That is why I have put this break somewhere. It definitely prolongs the meeting, but then fine, we don't have other things to do right here, and it is more of a networking kind of experience that we should have. The third point was again the energy of the meeting. I would request you guys to be more energetic. Just let your hair down. Don't look at me, I don't have this. At least you can have your hair down. Be more welcoming with your eyes, with your facial gestures, with your everything. You know, how many muscles are there on the face?
42.
42. And how many muscles are required to make a smile? 40 plus something. And for frowning, you need just 3 or 4 muscles right here, nothing else. So you can, with your facial gestures, also make someone happy. The speaker can become go to the next level with your gestures. So if you just turn around, look at Saurav right now. He is in a trance of listening. This is for the first time he's doing it. He's slowly improving on that, his listening skills. You need to put that also into him. But right now, his look is so intent that it is making me nervous. This is something that we should do.
So intense.
So that is not the intention.
That was not the intention, I know.
So trying to mirroring it.
But he's trying to mirror and try to listen to it. So this is something he's doing. But then the face is something that you need to have a smile all the time. That will be all from my side as the general evaluator. I would like to
One
hand over
question.
the back.
One question. How far we are from that triple crown?
Triple crown. You.
Sikha also, na?
Level 3 is completed. Today she has
Level 3
completed her
to
level
level
3.
2 2 speeches or 3 speeches?
Level 2 had 3 speeches.
Her level 2 had 3
He
speeches.
completed already, I believe.
Yes.
Level 3 complete.
Today her level 3 is completed.
Yeah, mine is one pending. It's 1 plus 2. I saw that today.
It is 1 plus 2 elective, yes. 1 main speech and 2 electives.
So what will means the reward? Will be the reward?
But you will get a badge, a triple crown badge in
To our
oration.
home.
No, in oration. They will buy it, the district buys it, and then they offer it to you in the oration in June. When the oration takes place.
Yeah. Yes.
Party, Momo party.
I think you have completed level 3 and you are also completed.
No,
it
no,
today.
no. The last speech will be pending. Last speech, last elective speech will be pending.
It is pending right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so that will be completed next week.
No, not next week.
I am
not
the
then.
mentor, we'll take time. Unless he bribes me.
Okay. So that's it. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Over to Toastmaster.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. I highly encourage you that when you go home, take out 5 minutes. The worries that you've listed, please classify them into one of these circles. The objective was to make you do this during the course of the meeting. However, we've exceeded the time, so we will not do that right now. Once you do that, you will know where to begin. Circle of control, first priority, then circle of influence, and finally circle of concern. I remember this prayer I was taught in school, which is not specific to any religion, so I'm not violating a tenet of Toastmasters. God grant me the serenity to accept that I cannot change, the courage to work on things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. This model helps you do just that, so please make the most use of it. Before I hand over the stage to the presiding officer for the closing remarks, I would like your feedback. So the sessions that I have run as Toastmaster of the Day have mostly been philosophical or on some sort of model or other, because this is something I am interested in. That is why I bring this to the meeting. But is this something that you guys are interested in? Is this something that adds value to you? Or should I look for something totally different? Because today I could see quite a few people were disengaged with the activities. So just an honest feedback.
It's good, I think. Good. No, it's good. Sometimes people take a little time to maybe just completely understand the activity, but that's
If we
all
just
about it.
let
But
them know the purpose of that.
yeah,
then
but
it
the
is
whole
more
way you
so.
structure and
Not
things
just the
are good.
purpose of pushing one of the stars out, but
That was more.
working on your.
That was very well rounded, the purpose of the activity by Shahid, so
Yes.
I could save in some time.
No, it's
Why it was done.
It's engaging, it's good.
It's very engaging.
Thank you so much. I now hand over the stage to the president for the closing remarks.
Thank you so
Mr.
much.
President and my mentee.
Toastmaster of the day today. I believe we all enjoyed the session, though I could not understand that part, that activity part, physical activity part, because what I believe, rather than break a team, we should build a team. We should not throw anyone out from that particular team. We should help others to grow within the team. I am not in for any sort of worries because I don't understand worries. I only understand my physique and the physical part. I felt tired and I love to rejuvenate that by driving to mountains. That is all I know about the worries part. Whenever you have thoughts, write it down. It is not part of law of attraction that happened to Science, but write it down. And when you write it down, you will your window of your mind will open up, and you will find a solution. Otherwise, find a mentor, okay, or a friend of yours. Discuss with them, and you can also find some similar like people like you, and you can also discuss the same thing with them, and I believe with the discussion you will have all the worries out of your mind and you will get solution. Okay, on that note, thank you so much each and everyone for your participation of the 340th physical meeting of Toastmasters of Delhi, and whatever DTM side articulated during the session, the evaluations, I believe we try to incorporate that in your life, and you will definitely get some benefit by spending your hard-earned money on this particular evening. And on that note, if you are still thinking of joining Toastmasters, I am pretty confident. Don't wait, because waiting actually wasting of time. And last time I said that. Okay, time is equal to money. That is a wrong idea. Time is actually priceless. You cannot reverse this time to any moment. Okay, on that note, we have some certificates with us, and again the best evaluator. First, before that, I would like to invite BTM Sai and Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ravina, to hand over the certificates to our contestants. So first, we start from table topic. That is the most best part, I believe, in my life. Okay, Toastmaster Ravina, you have to stand there.
And give me the certificate to present.
Yes, hand over the certificates to them. And best table topic speaker, Toastmaster Niti. Toastmaster Niti Gupta.
Congratulations.
Niti, just pause
Keep it up.
Keep Niti in the
Just pause, huh? Be there.
Yay!
Very nice. Cool.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
सब पढ़ हो गया, अभी फोटो लेने के लिए।
Best auxiliary role player, Toastmaster Sahil.
Very nice.
Best role player and best evaluator are simultaneously
Toastmaster Lavina.
Lavina and DTM Sahil. So
Yay,
exchange the
we kind of-
certificate among yourselves.
And then me. Let's exchange the.
And last but not the least, best speaker, Toastmaster Sika.
Wow, Toastmaster Shikha.
Let's take some photographs. Great. Thank you everyone, and best of luck for your next session. Thank you. Should be.